Al-Kahf, the cave. In the name of Allah, the compassionate, the merciful. Praise be to Allah, who has revealed the book to his servant and has not placed in it any crookedness, but has made it straight to give warning of stern punishment from him and to proclaim to the believers who do righteous deeds that they will have an excellent recompense, wherein they will remain forever, and to warn those who say that Allah has chosen a son. Of these they have no knowledge, nor had their fathers. Dreadful is the word that comes out of their mouths. They utter nothing but a lie. Well, O Muhammad, it may be that you will torment your soul with grief for their sake, if they do not believe in this message. We have placed all that is in the earth as an ornament for it, that we may try them, which of them is best in conduct. Yet we will surely reduce all that is on it to barren dust. Do you consider that the companions of the cave and the bearers of the inscription were a wonder among our signs? When the young man took refuge in the cave, they said, Lord, grant us mercy from your presence and guide us to right conduct in our plight. Then we sealed up their hearing in the cave for a number of years. Then we raised them up in order to test which of the two parties were able to calculate correctly the period of their stay there. Now, we tell you of their story with truth. They were young men who had believed in their Lord, and we increased them in guidance. And we strengthened their hearts when they rose up and declared, Our Lord is the Lord of the heavens and the earth. We will not call upon any God beside him, or we had spoken an outrage. These our people have adopted other gods beside him. Why do they not bring any clear argument in support of their creed? Well, who can be more wicked than the one who invents a falsehood against Allah? It was said to them, when you depart from them and from that they worship other than Allah, go to the cave for shelter. Your Lord will spread for you of his mercy and will prepare for you a means of safety. You would have seen the sun when it rose moving away from their cave to the right, and when it set, passing them by on the left, and they were in the cleft thereof. That was one of the signs of Allah. He whom Allah guides is rightly guided, but he whom he misleads shall find no friend to him. You might have taught them awake, though they were sleeping. We turned them about to right and left, while their dog lay at the cave's entrance with legs overstretched. Had you looked upon them, and you would have surely turned your back and fled, filled with terror. In like manner, we awakened them that they might question one another. One of them said, How long have we remained here? A day, or but a few hours? Replied some, and others said, Your Lord knows best how long you have stayed here. Let one of you go to the city with this your silver coin, and let him see what food is purest there, and bring you a supply from it. Let him conduct himself with a care and gentleness, and let no man know of you. For if they find you out, they will stone you or force you back into their cult, and then you would never find success. Thus, we disclose them so that they might know that Allah's promise was true, and that the hour of final resurrection was sure to come. When the people of the city disputed of their case among themselves, they said, Build over them a building. Their Lord knows best concerning them. Those who won their point said, "We assuredly shall build a place of worship over them. We assuredly shall build a place of worship over them." Some will say, "They, the sleepers, were three, their dog was the fourth." Others, guessing at the unknown, will say, "They were five, their dog was the sixth." And some say, "Seven, and their dog the eighth." Say, "O Muhammad, my Lord is best aware of their number. None knows them but a few. Therefore do not enter into controversies concerning them, except on a matter that is clear, nor consult any of them about the affair of the sleepers. Do not say of anything, 'I will do it tomorrow,' without adding, 'if Allah wills.' When you forget, remember your Lord and say, 'May Allah guide me and bring me nearer to the truth.'" So they stayed in their cave 300 years, and some at 9 more. Say, Allah knows best how long they stayed. To Him belongs the unseen in the heavens and in the earth. How well He sees, how well He hears. They have no protector apart from Him, nor does He make anyone to share in His government. And recite and teach that which has been revealed unto you in the book of your Lord. No one can change His words. You shall find no refuge beside Him. Restrain yourself together with those who pray to their Lord, morning and evening, seeking His pleasure. Do not turn eyes away from them in guest of the good things of this life, nor obey any whose heart we have made heedless of our remembrance, who follows his own lust and gives a loose rein to his desires. Say, "It is the truth from your Lord." Now, whosoever will may believe, and whosoever will may disbelieve. For the wrongdoers we have prepared a fire, whose flames will encircle them like the walls of a tent. If they ask for a drink, they shall be showered with water as hot as melted brass, which will scald their faces. How terrible drink, how evil the resting place. As for those who believe and work righteousness, we do not let go waste the reward of any who do a single righteous deed. For them will be gardens of pleasure, beneath them rivers will flow. Reclining there upon soft crotches, they shall be adorned with bracelets of gold, and they will wear green garments of fine silk and rich brocade. How excellent a reward, and how beautiful a resting place. And give them this parable. Once there were two men, one of them whom we gave 2 vineyards, and surrounded with date palms. In between the two we placed cornfields. Each of the 2 gardens yielded its produce, and did not fail anywise in yielding its produce. In the midst of them we caused the river to gush forth. This man had an abundant produce, and he said to his companion, while conversing with him, "I am richer than you, and mightier in respect of man." And when, having thus wronged his soul, he entered his vineyard, and he said, "I do not think that these will never perish, nor do I believe that the hour of judgment will ever come, and even if I am returned to my Lord, I should surely find better than this as a resort." His companion said, while he was conversing with him, "Have you disbelieved in Him who created you from dust, then from a sperm drop, and then fashioned you into a man? But as for myself, I know that Allah alone is my Lord, and I set up no partners with Him. When you entered your garden, why did you not say, 'That which Allah wills'? There is no power but with Allah, though you see me poorer than yourself and blessed with fewer children. Yet it may be that my Lord may give me something better than your garden, and send down thunderbolts from heaven upon your vineyards, turning into a barren waste. Or drain its water deep into the earth so that you can find it no more. So it came to pass that his fruits were encompassed with ruin. Then he began to wring his hands with grief at what he had spent on his property, which was now ruined on its trellises. And he would only say, "Woe is me! Would that I had never ascribed partners to my Lord." And he had no troop of men to help him against Allah, nor could he save himself. In such ordeals, protection comes only from Allah, the True. No reward is better than His reward, and no recompense more generous than His. And coin for them a similitude of the life of the world, like water which we send down from the sky, and the vegetations of the earth mingles with it, but soon it becomes dry stubble, which the winds scattered abroad. Allah has power over all things. Wealth and children are the ornament of this life, but the good deeds which endure are better in your Lord's sight as rewards and best as the foundation for hope. One day we shall remove the mountains, and you will see the earth as a barren waste, and we shall gather them all together, nor shall we leave out any of them. And they are set before your Lord in ranks, and he will say to them, "Now assuredly you have returned to us as we created you at first, yet you thought we shall not fulfill our promise." And the book of deeds will be placed, and you will see the sinners fearful of that which is inscribed in it. And they say, "Woe to us! What kind of a book is this that omits nothing, small or great, but all are noted down?" They will find all that they did placed before them, and your Lord will wrong no one. And remember, when we said to the angels, "Prostrate yourself before Adam," all prostrated themselves except Satan. He was of the jinn, and he rebelled against his Lord's command. Will you then choose him and his offspring for your protecting friends instead of me, despite their enmity towards you? Evil would be the exchange of the wrongdoers. I did not call them to witness at the creation of the heavens and the earth, nor at their own creation, nor choose I misleaders for my helpers. One day he will say, "Call on those whom you thought to be my partners," and they will call on them, but they will not hear their prayer, and we shall set a gulf of destruction between them. And the sinful shall see the fire, and will realize that they are to fall into it. No means will they find to turn away from it. And assuredly, we have displayed for mankind in this Quran all manner of similitudes. We have displayed for mankind in this Quran all manner of similitudes, but man is, more than anything, contentious. Nothing can prevent man from having faith and seeking forgiveness of their Lord when the guidance has been revealed to them, unless that the judgment of the man of old should come upon them, or they should be confronted with the chastisement. We only send the messengers as bearers of good news and as warners. But with false arguments, the disbelievers seek to confute the truth, treating my revelations and my warnings as a jest. Who is more wicked than he who has been reminded of the signs, revelations of his Lord, then turns away from them and forgets what his hands have done? We have placed coverings over their hearts so that they do not understand this, and set a deafness in their hearing. And though you call them to the guidance, they shall never be guided. Your Lord is the forgiving, full of mercy. Had it been his will to scourge them for their sins, he would have hastened their punishment, but he has set for them an appointed hour which they shall never escape. And all those nations we destroyed them when they did wrong, and we appointed a fixed time for their destruction. And when Moses said unto his attendant, I will not give up until I reach the place where the two seas meet, though I march on for ages. But when at last they came to the place where the two seas meet, they forgot their fish, which made its way into the water as if through in a tunnel. And when they had gone further, Moses said to his servant, Bring us our breakfast. Truly we have suffered much fatigue at this our journey. He replied, Did you see that I forgot the fish when we took refuge on the rock? I forgot the fish, and none but Satan caused me to forget to mention it. The fish made its way into the sea in a bizarre fashion. This is what we have been seeking, said Moses. So they retraced their steps again. Then they found one of our servants on whom we had bestowed mercy from ourselves and whom we had taught knowledge from our own presence. Moses said to him, May I follow you so that you may teach me the right guidance which you have been taught. You will not be able to have patience with me, said the other. For how can you bear with that which is beyond your knowledge? Moses said, Allah willing, you shall find me patient. I shall not in anything disobey you. He said, If then you would follow me, then ask me no questions about anything until I myself speak to you concerning it. So they both set forth, but as soon as they were in the ship, he made a hole in its bottom. A strange thing you have done, exclaimed Moses. Have you made a hole in it to drown its passengers? Did I not tell you, he replied, that you would not have patience with me? Moses said, Forgive my forgetfulness, and do not grieve me by raising a difficulty in my case. They both journeyed on until, when they met a young man, he, Moses' companion, slew him. And Moses said, What? Have you slain an innocent soul through he had killed nobody? Truly you have done a foul thing. Did I not tell you, he replied, that you would not have patience with me? Moses said, If I ever question you again about anything, do not let me accompany you, for then you would have received excuse from myself. So they both journeyed on until when they came to the inhabitants of a town. They asked them for food, but they refused to make them guests. Or they found there a wall on the point of falling down, and he restored it. Moses said, Had you wished, you could have demanded payment for this. He answered, This is the parting between you and me. I will tell you the interpretation of that which you could not bear with patience. As for the boat, it belonged to poor people working on the sea, and I wish to render it unserviceable, because in their rear there was a king who was seizing every ship by force. As for the youth, his parents were believers, and we feared that he would oppress them by rebellion and disbelief. So we desired that their Lord would give them in exchange a son, better in purity of conduct and closer in affection. As for the wall, it belonged to two orphan boys in the city. There was beneath it a buried treasure belonging to them, and their father had been a righteous man. So your Lord desired that they should attain their age of full strength and bring out their treasure as a mercy from their Lord. I did not upon my own command, such as the interpretation of those things which you were unable to bear with patience. They will ask you about Dhul Qarnayn. Say, I shall recite unto you a remembrance of him. Assuredly, we made him mighty in the land and gave him the means to all things. One such way he followed. Until he reached the setting place of the sun, he found it setting in a pool of opaque water, and found the people around it. He said, O Dhul Qarnayn, you must either punish them or show them kindness. He said, whoever does wrong, we shall punish him. Then he shall be sent back to his Lord, who will punish him with a fearsome punishment. But whoever believes and works righteousness, he shall have a goodly reward, and we shall speak to him a mild manner. Then he followed another way, until when he came to the rising place of the sun, he found the sun rising upon a people for whom we had provided no covering protection against the sun. So he did leave them as they were, and we had full knowledge of all that was with him. Then followed he another way, until when he reached a tract between the two mountains, he found beneath them a people who scarcely understood a word. They said, O Dhul Qarnayn, Gog and Magog are working corruption in the land. So may we pay you a tribute on condition that you set a barrier between us and them? He said, the power that my Lord has given me is better than any tribute. Help me with a force of laborers, and I will erect a strong barrier between you and them. Bring me blocks of iron. At length, when he had leveled up the gap between the cliffs, he said, blow with your bellows. Then, when he had made it a fire, he said, bring me molten copper to pour on it. And Gog and Magog were not able to surmount it, nor could they dig their way through it. He said, this is a mercy from my Lord, but when the promise of my Lord has been fulfilled, he will level it to dust. The promise of my Lord is ever true, and on that day we shall cause them to surge like waves upon one another. The trumpet will be blown, and we shall collect them all together. We shall bring hell on that day before the disbelievers plain to view. Those whose eyes had been under a veil from my remembrance and who had been unable to hear. To the disbelievers think that they can make my servants into protectors besides me. We have prepared hell as a dwelling place for the disbelievers. Say, shall we tell you who will be the greatest losers by their works? Those whose efforts have been wasted in the life of the world, while they thought they were doing good. Those are they who disbelieve in the revelations of their Lord in the encounter with him. Therefore their works are vain, and on the day of resurrection we assign no weight to them. That is their reward, hell, because they rejected faith and took my revelations and my messengers for a jest. As for those who believe and do good works, they have the gardens of paradise as a dwelling place, where they shall dwell forever, desiring no change to befall them. Say, if the ocean were ink for the woods of my Lord, assuredly the sea would be used up before the words of my Lord were finished. Even if we brought